The alert klaxons screamed through the bridge of the Galactic Council's monitoring station as Commander Vex stared at the tactical display in disbelief. The massive signature approaching their sector defied every principle of interstellar warfare they had known for centuries. "Confirm the readings," Vex ordered, his forearms trembling slightly as they worked the controls. The young officer at the sensor station, a nervous Altarian named Kip, double-checked the instruments with wide, frightened eyes. "Confirmed, Commander. Single vessel, approximately 12 kilometers in length. Energy signatures are off the charts. It's not matching any known design in our database." Vex felt his stomach drop. 12 kilometers. The largest warships in the known galaxy barely reached 3 kilometers, and those were the legendary dreadnoughts that took decades to construct. What manner of civilization could build something so massive? "Sir," another officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission." The main screen flickered to life, revealing a human face-pale skin, brown hair, calm blue eyes that seemed to hold depths of experience far beyond their years. The human wore a simple gray uniform with minimal decoration, yet somehow commanded immediate respect. "This is Captain Reed of the Earth vessel, Prometheus. We request permission to dock at your station for diplomatic discussions." Vex stared at the screen. Humans. They had heard whispers of this species, a young race from the outer rim that had recently achieved faster-than-light travel. Intelligence reports suggested they were primitive, barely capable of interplanetary travel. Yet here was one of their vessels that dwarfed anything in the known galaxy. "Captain Reid," Vex managed to say, "your vessel is considerably larger than we expected. Are you certain you wish to dock at our station?" Reed smiled a gesture that somehow conveyed both warmth and steel. "Don't worry, Commander. We've brought a shuttle. The Prometheus will maintain a respectful distance." Within hours, a human delegation arrived at the station. Captain Reed was accompanied by 3 other humans. Dr. Lane, a woman with silver hair and kind eyes. Lieutenant Ross, a young man who carried himself with quiet confidence. And Ambassador Cole, an older gentleman who seemed to study everything with intense curiosity. The first shock came when they entered the station's artificial gravity field. Most species required environmental suits or special accommodations when visiting multi-species facilities. The humans simply walked in, breathing the standard atmospheric mixture as if it were their natural environment. "Remarkable," Dr. Lane commented, examining the station's architecture with genuine interest. "The energy efficiency of your gravity generators is impressive. We've been working on similar technology, though our approach is somewhat different." Vex led them to the main conference room, where representatives from 7 different species had gathered. The Altarians with their delicate features and multiple limbs, the crystalline quartz beings who communicated through light patterns, the massive Gorlan warriors with their thick hides and proud bearing. All of them seemed diminished in the presence of these 4 humans. "Before we begin," Ambassador Cole said, settling into a chair that automatically adjusted to his physiology, "we should address what everyone is thinking. Yes, our ship is large. Yes, we're new to this galactic community. But we're not here to conquer or dominate. We're here to learn and hopefully to share." The Gorland representative, a battle-scarred veteran named Thek, leaned forward aggressively. "Your ship carries enough firepower to level a planet. What do you call that if not conquest?" Captain Reed met his gaze steadily. "We call it preparation. Our species has learned that peace is best maintained through strength, but strength means nothing without wisdom. We've spent the last century preparing for this moment, not just building ships, but building understanding." Dr. Lane activated a small device, and holographic displays filled the room. "These are some of our recent technological developments. Medical advances that can extend life across multiple species. Energy systems that could power entire star systems agricultural techniques that could end hunger on 1,000 worlds. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. The humans weren't just sharing information, they were offering solutions to problems that had plagued the galaxy for generations. Why? Asked Lyra, the Altarian science officer. Why share such advances with strangers? Lieutenant Ross spoke, up for the first time. Because isolation breeds fear, and fear breeds conflict. We've seen what happens when species develop in isolation, when they view others as threats rather than potential allies. We want to break that cycle. Ambassador Cole nodded. We're proposing a new kind of galactic community. Not one based on territorial divisions or species superiority, but on mutual cooperation and shared knowledge. Our ship represents our commitment to protecting this vision. Thack scoffed. Pretty words, but words don't explain weapons that could crack moons. Captain Reed stood, his presence somehow filling the room despite his modest stature. Those weapons exist because we've learned from history. Every species in this room has stories of wars, of conflicts that devastated worlds. We've studied those histories, learned from them. Our strength isn't meant to intimidate. It's meant to ensure that the age of galactic warfare ends with us. The discussion continued for hours, touching on trade agreements, technology sharing, and mutual defense pacts. But the real change wasn't in the words spoken. It was in the shift in thinking that the humans represented Dot as the meeting concluded. Vex found himself watching the human delegation with new eyes. They weren't conquerors or primitives. They were something the galaxy had never seen before, a species that had looked at the vast cosmos and decided that cooperation was more powerful than competition. When the shuttle departed, carrying the humans back to their massive vessel, Vex remained at the observation deck, watching the Prometheus slowly turn and head toward the galactic core. The ship's passage created ripples in space-time that would be felt across the galaxy. Change was coming indeed. The age of isolation was ending, and the age of unity was about to begin.